So we're talking about the physics of resonance signatures. This goes right in line with our discussion of radial time mechanics. Radial time mechanics is governed by a person's resonance signature. And what is a resonance signature? Well, each person has a resonance signature, and it's like an energetic barcode to a certain given timeline. So it's like your signature of alignment. It determines how aligned you are with source. It's a reading, a measurement of how aligned you are with source. And it's basically about how much current is coming through. How much source are you allowing to come through you? And that thing can be determined by a lot of different things, belief systems, environment, but mainly consciousness and memory, remembrance. Do you remember that you're a part of source? If so, how much do you remember and believe that you're a part of source? That's going to determine your identity frequency. And identity frequency is the strongest determinant of your identity, of your resonance signature. Your identity frequency is about who do you believe you are. This is what the whole world is based on. We're all being told that we're somebody. We're all being told that we have to be this. You have to be that. You have to dress this way. You have to eat like this. These were your ancestors, and so you have to do this. And all of these things determine your resonance signature because your lineage determines it, your experiences, because all of these things color your consciousness. They color the way you see, the way you believe, and the way you think, which determines your resonance signature. Right? So one needs to be aware of the physics of one's resonance signature. So we're going to break it down. And we already talked about the first aspect of resonance signature. It was your identity frequency. That's your self concept of you. It also deals with your mythic mantle. Who you believe you are. What identity have you created for yourself? Or are you only being what you've been told to be? Have you stepped out the box and said, no, I am, as I have said, I am Caleb Ron, flame bear eternal? Have you actually said I am, or have you just allowed the titles that have been given? Your behavioral defaults is one, and your emotional baseline is another base of your identity frequency. Um, the identity frequency, as I said, is the strongest determinant of what timeline is rotating towards you because your identity frequency is what determines what timeline you're resonating in. And that's what timeline or time curve. There are no straight lines in nature, so I don't like using line. What time curve that you're aligned with. The second aspect of um, your resonance signature is your emotional harmonic. This is the emotional tone that you sustain over time. It's a subtle tone of emotion that you feel and that you go through life with all the time. That is a signature. That is a resonance. That is a tone, a call that you're creating. It's a crystallized pattern, right? It determines which timelines are even compatible with you. Certain timelines you can't even get into because your emotional harmonic is incompatible. You have to change the frequency, change the tone of the emotional harmonic by changing the emotion, which is another science. The third one is your behavioral vector. This is the direction of your actions. Are your actions actually in line with who you say you are, which is your identity frequency, how you feel about who you say you are, which is your emotional harmonic? Do you behave in that? Because if you think or you identify as one thing, but you feel something else, and then you're misaligned, those two things are in line, right? And so this determines your trajectory of the direction that you're going towards or the trajectory of any time curve that you're moving toward you, right? um and the fourth one is your coherence index, and this measures, as I said, the alignment of the first identity frequency, behavioral harmonic, emotional harmonic, and behavioral vector. Are these three in alignment? The fourth one is what determines or measures the alignment of those. And that's also a determining factor of your resonance signature. And this is what determines how fast a time curve moves towards you and aligns with you. So let's be aware of the physics of our resonance signature, and we'll get into it deeper in later videos. This is just a simple breakdown of one's resonance signature, dealing with your identity frequency, your behavioral harmonic, your emotional harmonic, excuse me, your behavioral vector, and your coherence index. Peace.